Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to the Shrouded Isle, the murder cult, high priest, Eldritch god worshipping, sacrifice everyone in the entire village simulator thing. Where we were ordered by Chernobog to raise ignorance. We are below the threshold now that the threshold has increased. We also need to sacrifice the greedy embezzler. Luckily, we know who that is. That is her right there. We already discovered that trait. We will do that in a second because we have a letter. After a harsh storm, an outsider washed ashore. The villagers want to throw him back into the ocean, but you wonder if his arrival is more than coincidence. So we can return them to the sea and encourage ignorance, which is our goal at the moment. Ask House Blackborn to interrogate him. Ignorance will suffer but something we don't know. Or ask Kegney to watch him. Ignorance will suffer but question mark. No, we want ignorance. As much as I'd like to see what these question marks could be, ignorance is our goal and we shall pay heed to that. That's a lot of ignorance. Continue. So we're just barely under the threshold now, which is great. Let's go ahead and take Zoya. Hopefully we won't have to use her too awfully much in the upcoming thing because her embezzler trait gives a big hit to discipline. Who do we want to inquire about here? Well, we know a lot about a lot of people. We don't know her vice yet, though we have the rumor, so this should uncover it. And she is a linguist. Lots of people with negatives to ignorance in the house that's in charge of ignorance, unfortunately. Maybe Chernobog will ask for the rebellious one soon, though we don't want to sacrifice two from this house in a row if we can help it. We will appoint Zoya as our advisor. The Yovskas. We don't have an inquiry here, which is fine because we know basically everything about them except for Chessa's virtue. Her vice hurts ignorance a lot. So even though I'd like to uncover as many of these traits as I can, I'm tempted to just take Bella because she has the least negative impact here, and that's what I'm going to do. Come back and help us, Bella. You were so good at your job. For the Cadwells, who are at -50 with us, so we need to use them a bit in the upcoming season. They are getting dangerously close to the rebellion level, which is, I believe, at -65. We don't have an inquiry here either, which we're not really looking for anything in specific this time. We already found our embezzler. So Teen is a -2 obedience because she's basically too young for the job, but it's a lesser hit than cynical. And knows too much hurts ignorance. So I think I'm going to take Nadia again. She seems not to mind, even though she is a teenager. Alright, we get an inquiry here. Let's find out something about Ladislas. Ignorant. Hopefully his undisciplined trait is not too bad, though we could for sure take Miko and help ignorance big time. Well, I mean, not super big time, but it helps every time we use him. Complacent hurts Fervor. Fervor's in good shape though, so yeah, let's take Miko. And from the Efferson estate, we will inquire about Maria, since we have a rumor, but nothing for certain. She is elegant, so that's a +2 obedience. Gluttonous is a -2 discipline. There's no one here who is rumored to be helpful to ignorance. So I think we want to take the person who will hurt us the least for sure. We could take Demas and try to uncover some more traits. Our standing with them's good though, so we may not even use the Blackborns at all this time, so let's take Maria. And begin. Unfortunately, we need to use Zoya at least once to get ignorance up. She's going to hurt discipline greatly, but we'll offset that a bit with Nadia. They are neutral, but they're going to give us a 30 hit. So we do want to use her maybe every time, just to get it up to where we can still get an inquiry with the Kegnis. I can't remember though, maybe we've uncovered all their traits. I don't remember, I should have paid more attention to that, but they're at minus 45, they're at minus 50. Yeah, let's just use these two this time. Alright, average outcome, she burned some books. Great. Unquestioning, so +2 obedience. And hurts discipline a ton. Average outcome, found some forbidden desserts and such. Rumored to be disciplined, so that helps, especially since they're in the discipline business. So even though her vice there as a teen hurts discipline because she's too young for the job, her virtue is offsetting that. So, wonderful, question mark? Alright, so we got +5 with the Kegnis, minus 40 with the Cadwells. We may just want to ignore the Yovskas for now, because they're not going to get into rebellious status, I don't think. And if we just use these two, that should keep them both in the neutral zone. Well, keep them in the neutral zone even with the sacrifice, but it will put the Cadwells into the neutral zone, I think. As well as give us a greater chance of uncovering Nadia's virtue there. Let's go ahead and do it again. Well, that hurt discipline more than I wanted. Hopefully her counterpart here can offset that. No, she can't. Because she's horrible at this job. And lost a little obedience, but up to +15, so after the hit, they will still be in neutral. In fact, we can probably stop using her now. That will lower them to 10 at the end of the season. Then with a minus 30, they'll be at exactly -20, which is still neutral. And we need 10 more from them, so we may just use the Cadwells and the Yovskas this time, just to give a little buffer above rebellious for the Yovskas. Hopefully, neither of these affect ignorance, and they don't. Scarred is against obedience, so we're in the clear. Alright, poor outcome. We lost some fervor. Luckily, fervor's our best standing stat at present, so we could afford to do that. And we have discovered her virtue. She is stoic, so that's a +5 virtue. Nice. And we've made it another season, folks, and we know exactly who we're going to sacrifice. And that is you. Because you're who Chernobog wants to eat. Alright, minus 30 with Kegni, but still in the neutral zone. Great. +5 with everyone else. Looks like our obedience is going to go into the red, but we weren't ordered to keep obedience up, so we should be okay. The night before the new season, a whisper caresses your dreams. My most beloved, you struggle so pleasingly. Encourage ignorance, purity of mind and soul. The rebellious one, give her to me. I think we know who's rebellious too, though that may also be someone in House Kegni, and in that case, I can't sacrifice them 2 seasons in a row. Yeah, it is, so we won't be able to appease Lord Chernobog this season. And we only have one more trait to uncover in this house because all the rest are uncovered or their bearers are dead. Superstitious. Holy moly, that helps with ignorance, doesn't it? But hurts obedience, and obedience needs to be raised this time. I think ignorance is going to be okay. Everyone in this house is just a pain in the butt. Tell you what, let's take Vossen this time. because if we absolutely have to use them to get ignorance up, at least it's a big boost to ignorance. Sure. Doggone it, Cagney, you just got a bum rap on virtues this time, didn't you? The Yovskas. We get no inquiry here because they hate us. Very, very tempted to just take Bella again because she's got a good virtue and not a bad vice at all. In fact, we are definitely going to do that. And the Cadwells are still neutral, which is great. We are going to inquire about Svetlana because we have both of her rumors, so we'll get a for sure virtue or vice this time. And she is chaste, plus 10 to discipline. That doesn't really help with obedience, which is what we want. Knows too much hurts ignorance. However, we know for sure that cynical here hurts obedience badly. We could just take the teen again, because that hurts obedience a little bit. Not at a minus 20, and we don't know what her knows too much is against ignorance. Suppose we should find out, though. That chaste is a good virtue. Sure. Just a don't touch you. No worries. Effersons? We get an inquiry here. Let's uncover something for sure. A crony. Plus 2 obedience. Possibly knows too much. Let's take her as an advisor. And for the Blackborns, we will inquire about Ladislas, who is dull, so plus to ignorance. Will hurt discipline, don't know how much, but the plus to ignorance may help. I don't see anyone with a plus to obedience here. I don't think. No, elegant is a plus to obedience, but a minus to penitence. We'll take Danica this time to help with our obedience struggles here. Only a few more seasons left. If we can pull it out, then Lord Chernobog will come back. Okay, standings. Minus 20, minus 40, minus 15, 0, and minus 5. Very little chance we're going to uncover a minus 30 trait this time. And as such, we're going to take a negative 50 hit from someone. Best able to handle that would be the Effersons at this point. We'd have to get them up very high. We do need to work on obedience, so we need to do that. We want to try to keep the Kegneys in the neutral zone. Though we've uncovered pretty much all of their traits, so maybe that doesn't matter anymore. And we know we're going to be sacrificing one of them next season because they're the one that Lord Chernobog demanded. The rebellious one. So as long as one of these vices doesn't lower ignorance too much, it should be fine. You know what? We're going to use him this time just to put a little bit of a buffer on ignorance, because I also want to use Kazmira here and try to uncover this knows too much trait. Alright, let's see what that does. Alright, obedience went down, so someone has a bad trait against obedience here. Confusing sermon, obedience minus 6. Cynical is against obedience, that's right. I'm a dummy, should have looked at that. Alright, it's okay, we can still fix this. We've got time, we've got two more months, we can do it. So, decreased ignorance, but not by a lot, so it's probably not a major vice. Right, plus to obedience, that helps. Minus to penitence. Penitence is fine. We can afford to take some hits to penitence at this point. Okay, so finish. Obedience is actually in decent shape here. So let's try to get our standing up here, though she's going to lower obedience. That's right, because she's scarred, she doesn't feel the pain. That's weird, though, because you figured that would be penitence. The scarred would hurt. But I suppose not. Do that, offset, and begin. Great outcome with Fervor, which Fervor's never really been in danger this run, I don't think. Helps with penitence also, and hurts obedience a bit. Great outcome plus obedience. Awesome. More obedience here. And hurts penitence. I figured we'd get back up above, but apparently not. So we need to concentrate on obedience this time. No one that's going to hurt obedience. Otherwise, we're going to get screwed. Though sometimes these don't update quickly enough, so I suppose we were above the threshold there. Well, she hurts ignorance a little bit, but we need to try to get them into the neutral, and we will do this. This should leave us in good stead. If she can reveal a minus 30 vice, but it's not. It's just curious. Yeah, if she was a minus 30, that would have been really good because we could have sacrificed her. But as it is, we're going to have to sacrifice someone who's going to outrage one of these houses. Alright, well, we're going to have 3 of them in the neutral zone. So I think we're probably going to have to sacrifice the Iovska. They are very low, but I do want to keep making inquiries of these 3 houses, so I think that's our best choice at present. If killing this person doesn't lower obedience enough to get us, killed ourselves, it's going to raise obedience. Alright. Hurt penitence a little bit. That's fine. Bella, you've been good for us. Your minor vice and your minor virtue have served us well, but it's time for you to go meet Lord Chernobog. The rest of us are going to stay here and meet him, when he comes here. You go where he is now. You should feel lucky. I mean, we don't get to go see Lord Chernobog, right? Gosh, I envy you. No, I don't want to take your place. Don't put words in my mouth. All right. They're defying authority. We have to appease them or risk revolt. What are they actually at? -90. We need to get them above, or to or above -60. We know who our sacrifice is going to be next time. It's going to be the rebellious Kegni. What is this? A letter arrives, unable to leave bed for 2 weeks. Dimas Efferson complains of a great weight pressing down and difficulty breathing. All of House Efferson fears the disease may spread. What should we do? Assist in prayer. Fervor will suffer. He's faking. And whip him, and House Efferson will not like that. I mean, House Efferson's neutral. How much will they not like it? As long as it's not -25, it's not a big deal, but we gotta concentrate here. I think Fervor can take the hit. -15. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. And get +10 on House Efferson. Good. Good deal. There we go. Gives us a bit of a buffer there. Fervor has been fine for a long time now. Okay. Hello, rebellious one. I hope you are indeed ready to meet Chernobog. We have an inquiry, but don't really need it. Sure, let's find out something here. She's full of fervor. Great. Still gonna die. Still gonna be put on that table, and that knife going to be, blood everywhere. That sort of thing. Yovskas. We want someone who is not going to screw us. However, everyone you freaking have screws us, don't they? See, this may be where we lose the whole game, having to sacrifice Bella, because she was the least harmful of them. Oh dear. So, Shy hurts Fervor, but Masochist helps Discipline. He's working towards Fervor. Maybe we can keep Fervor above water. We'll try, because we've got to use him probably every time to get back into their good graces. The Cadwells. We have an inquiry here. What will you tell us, Hana? Penitent? Okay. Let's see. Chaste is plus discipline. Curious is minus ignorance. Huh. I guess you're the best choice? as far as hurting us the least. Why has everybody got to be so bad? And a Blackborns. Don't want to use tyranny if possible. She's got a minus 20 weasel trait. What is your undiscipline, sir? You're a flirt. So minus 20 to discipline. And weasel is to penitence. You've got the best bonus, but slovenly is also a minus to discipline. There are just no good choices at this point in the game. I guess we could take Miko, who has only a minus 10 minor vice. Yeah, we'll take you, Miko. Good on Miko. Right, guys? Miko, he always does a good job, doesn't he? What is your ignorance thingy? You're curious. It's only a minus 10, but you got plus 15 to obedience. Nobody helps fervor. You might help fervor. We don't know. Sure. Let's roll the dice with Demas. Hopefully his vice is not horrible for us. All right. Congratulations, Eden. You're the only one working at all this month. You got a virtue that helps discipline. That's great. And you're working at fervor. Offset a little bit your horrible fervor. And it raised you to 65. So one more time we'll put his house out of rebellion. So this time we're going to use Kegni. And because they're going to get a negative 30 when we sacrifice their member, even though it's justified. And we're not going to worry about these. We will have to use the Caldwells or Cadwells at some point just to keep them in the neutral. For sure, rebellious is a minus to obedience. Would put it in the negative, but offset it like that and minimize the impact. Yeah. Right, average outcome. Pyromaniac, fervor plus 7. That helps a ton there, doesn't it? Too bad you're going to get sacrificed to the great Lord Chernobog. Alright. Minus 10 fervor. It's all good. It's all good. This cult is well on its way to resummoning the Eldritch Lord, who will, make us all really happy by eating us. We'll be digested over the course of 1,000 years in his acidic gullet. But we get to be immortal for all that time. We don't die. We live the whole 1,000 years. What do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? I'm the high priest. You shut your mouth. Alright, that's going to hurt ignorance, but it's not going to put it below the line. So, guess we could offset it a little bit like that. Yeah, we'll do that. Average outcome, good. Anything but poor is fine at this point. Minus to fervor. Yeah, we got it. You lack fervor. Oh god, poor outcome. So discipline suffered, but discipline, her virtue helped, and she hurt ignorance, but we're above all the thresholds, so we're good. We're going to sacrifice the rebellious one and help obedience, and everybody's going to be happy, and Lord Chernobog's going to throw a party. It's going to be great, guys. I promise it's going to be awesome. We will sacrifice the evil Kegni woman. Helps obedience. Loses fervor. Loses quite a bit of fervor, but you know what? Gotta be done. Gotta be done. Chernobog demands, and we deliver. Awesome. So they are not even in rebellion. And neither are they. Are they? The night before the new season, a whisper caresses your dreams. My most beloved, you struggle so pleasingly. Yeah, we've heard it all before. Encourage penitence. I can do that. And the gluttonous one. We already know who the gluttonous one is, too. I'm pretty sure I saw gluttonous. I don't think that's even a major vice, is it? Who's gluttonous? Gluttonous, that's only a minus 10, but I guess he's run out of major vices to, demand or whatever. Let's see what our letter's about. Adjudicator Yovska complains that carrots have overtaken her monuments. Matron Kegney complains that monument braziers are disrupting her carrot harvest. Come on, guys. Can we not gain a more carrot-friendly monument? Question mark? Obedience minus 15. Damn it. At least, even with the increased demand and penitence, we're still above the threshold. So now it's just, can we pick people with vices that aren't so bad that they're going to just destroy us? I think this is our last season. I think we complete winter and the game ends and we win. You know, if summoning an Eldritch horror from the deep can be considered winning. Okay, which one of you is going to screw us the least? You're all horrible. Cynical. Sure. We'll take you because we were ordered to raise penitence, so that's the only one that matters to keep above this threshold, because everything else is fine even if it goes into the red. I think. Maybe not since this is last season, but you know, what can you do? Just the best you can. Yeah, both of you have horrible, horrible, horrible vices. Shy hurts fervor, linguist hurts ignorance. Masochist helps discipline. Discipline's in fine shape, so is ignorance. Let's take Chessa, sure. We haven't discovered her trait. Maybe we can on this last season here. Did we have an inquiry? We don't have an inquiry. That's right, you hate us. Susan's a weasel, which hurts penitence. Penitence, yes. We do have an inquiry here, so let's find out what your last trait is. A convict, which is plus to penitence. But a minus to obedience. Seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? I guess that's what happens when stats are random. Appoint advisor. Once again, we're going to go with you because... Or no, Svetlana, because you hurt the least. Yep. And from the Blackburns, or Blackborns, however you care to pronounce it, we will inquire, but I think we're just going to choose Miko. Full of fervor, don't really care. Miko, you're the man with the plan. Get it done. And the Effersons, of course. We get an inquiry. Demas, we know nothing about you, son. You've spent no time with us at all. But you're lacking fervor, so I don't really care. Come with me, glutton. And, funnily enough, you're the one that's probably going to hurt us the least from your family, too. Even though Lord Chernobog wants you for dinner. A la mode. Alrighty. So now it's just a matter of not letting these drop too awfully low, I think. We want to use you. That's going to drop obedience, so we'll use you to offset that. That still puts it in the red, which is sad, but you know, what can you do? Svetlana helps obedience, because I think it minimizes his impact on it, so maybe we'll choose you instead. Because you are the lowest. I do think this is our last season, but I'm not for certain about that. I've only finished the game one time. But yeah, roll the dice. Average outcome. He burned a few texts, you know, just book burning for fun and profit. Build monument, great outcome. Way to go, Chessa. Oh, you're discovered to be chaste. Well, how about you? Miko just holding it down. We know about Miko. He's the man that can get the job done and, you know, hurt the stats as little as possible. Okay. Just the juggling act forever. Forever. Miko? And you? Nah, you know what? Just Miko. Miko knows what to do. He's a man that I can trust implicitly. I just tell him to do this thing and he does this thing. And goddamn it, Miko, why'd you lower fervor? I mean, we knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. right? It's okay. It's okay. Well, looks like we may win this game. Fingers crossed. You know what? You deserve to be able to work one last time before you're sacrificed to the Dark Lord. Average outcome. More discipline. Little bit of ignorance loss. But you know what? People gotta learn some things sometimes, folks. People gotta, read some books. Unless they're in a cult. Then you don't want them to read because they might get ideas. Dangerous ideas. Wait, we're in a cult. We don't want people to read. They might get dangerous ideas. Kind of the point of the game. Season's End. I think this is it. I hope I'm not wrong. The Glutton. They're going to be outraged, but you know what? Be outraged with Lord Chernobog. He's the one who wanted her to die. To be absent from the body is to be present with the ever-hungry Eldritch horror from the deep. Through sacrifice thy will be done. Yes! We did it. This will be the last entry in my journal. The hour of our salvation arrives. I go now to my final ceremony. And stab myself in the stomach. Because I don't want to die immediately. I want to suffer for a bit. As it was written by our ancestors, great Chernobog rises in glory to guide the next age. Hello. Good to see you at last. Our suffering is at last at an end. Of course it is. Because we're not going to suffer under this monstrosity at all. Everything's going to be so great. Praise be unto him. Forever and ever. Or at least until I die. Amen. Goodbye, world. So, it's great to be in a murder cult, right? Right? Human sacrifice? We can all get behind that, can't we? Maybe not. Anyway, we survived all 3 years. Awesome. Sacrificed 12 villagers. Awesome. Don't know how we could ever sacrifice 30. 12 of 30, we only get 12 sacrifices. Maybe there's a mechanic I'm not realizing that we could sacrifice more, but sure. Sacrificed every major sinner. All freaking 8 of them. Lord Chernobog pointed, and we stabbed. Stab, stab, stab. House with the most sacrifices. Yovska. In fact, we killed almost all of them. And discovered 48 of 60 traits. So we didn't do extremely good there. But to be honest, picking the ones that hurt us the least near the end is what kept us in the game. And we're able to finish it with a victory. And I'm satisfied. And that, my friends, is the Shrouded Isle. What do you guys think about this? I know I said in the first look that I found it intriguing, and I do, especially since everything is randomized at the beginning, and it's always sort of a fresh playthrough. The names of the houses stay the same, but all the traits and things are varied. If you pay real close attention and are very careful with your choices, you got a good chance of winning this when you play it. It may take a few times to really get the hang of it. I think I didn't beat it until my 3rd time through. And then in the first look, I was too busy trying to explain everything and just go and made a lot of mistakes, and you saw what happened there. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you would like to see me play more of these more strategic type of games. I know my favorite type of game to play myself, just for my own enjoyment, if I could speak English, is a game with a really intense story that really just gets you, in your feels. But I do like these strategic games too, the ones that make you think. So I'm perfectly willing to try more of those in the future. But I digress. Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked this series, let me know by hitting the like button. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.